Guys, UFC Apex Fight Night, Jones versus Miocic, is taking place this Saturday, and I'm going to go over my picks for who I think's going to win these events, okay? So let's get into it. For starters, we got Jones fighting Stipe. I guess this guy's a new up-and-comer or something. Jon Jones always takes on, the baddest competition. So Stipe, up-and-comer, hasn't fought in a while, I guess. Must be, taking some sort of break or something, but he's on a good little win streak. And yeah, I'm going to be picking Jones, though, because I just think Jones is too much of a beast. I've been seeing a lot of people saying, Stipe, don't count Stipe out on this one. But, I'm sorry, I'm not going to, pretend that Stipe is going to win this. Sure, he can land you never know what can happen. He could land something, but I'm not going to bank on the 1% chance that Stipe Miocic lands something on Jon Jones. Like, bruh, listen, Jones, you say what you want, Jones is still a beast, okay? We all know Jones is still a beast. We all know he would beat Aspinall, obviously. He's not ducking Aspinall. But, in all seriousness, Jones is a fucking pussy. And, this is a disgrace of a fight. And there's not much to break down because once you go into the X's and O's, that's when you start to realize that this is a bit of a joke, right? We don't have a prime Stipe fighting Jones, bro. This is a elderly Stipe Miocic who's fucking, getting some sparring sessions in with his boys at the fire station, fighting a Jon Jones who's, probably taking these big layoffs to fucking, put some more PEDs in his system, okay? It's not a coincidence that Jones disappears for, 3 years, and then comes back and submits Cyril Gane in the first round. It's not a coincidence, but listen, I'm gonna be picking Jones by... What am I picking Jones by? This is the question. Listen, it's not a question about if I'm picking Stipe or if I'm picking Jones. It's, what am I picking Jones by? I'll probably pick him by... Well, obviously, he's not gonna fucking knock out Stipe. I'll pick him by submission, okay? I'll just pick Jones by submission. Listen, it's not easy to submit Stipe. It's not easy to submit him, but it is when you're going against a Stipe who doesn't really care, okay? Stipe, you can't convince me that Stipe is gonna come in here with some sort of chip on his shoulder saying, dude, these people are counting me out, man. I gotta fucking, I gotta show them who I am. He doesn't care. He's just coming in here to get his paycheck, He's having a whole comedy routine on Embedded, and he's a great guy, right? Stipe is a great guy. In my fantasies, in my dreams, I would love to see Stipe just knock the fuck out of Jon Jones. Just knock him out cold. But we know that we're not living in that reality, okay? And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend Stipe is gonna be competitive. He might actually be competitive. That's not even a reach, okay? That's not even a reach. He might look competitive against Jones, and that's a sad thing to say for Jones because, dude, Stipe is 85 years old. But listen, Jones is gonna submit Stipe. I'll just say fucking round 2, bro. Round 2 submission for Jones. Maybe round 1. Dude, but it could be round 1 as well because Stipe is gonna look so fucking washed. There's no way he's gonna look good after this long of a layoff. So, great fight here. Very competitive, of course. And, yeah, I got fucking Jones by round 2 submission or something. What type of submission? I actually see, a rear naked choke. He's going to mount Stipe and he's going to, choke him out. And we're going to see this. We're going to see, Jones is going to immediately shoot for the hips. He's going to be shooting and he's going to be, dragging along the fight. Bilal Muhammad maxing. Stipe is going to get some good elbows in there when Jones is, trying to go for that double leg. And then, it gets to round 2, right? And Jones is going to do a sort of wrap around. He's going to wrap around sort of and then get on top. And, he's going to get on his back. He's going to get the back. He's going to get Stipe's back. And as soon as he gets, that choke in, we're going to see the most brutal fucking tap you've ever seen. Where Stipe's just... He doesn't even care. He doesn't even care to, try and escape the choke. We're just going to see a... Get me out of here. That's what we're going to see. Very anticlimactic. And, yeah. That's all I can say. Now, Charles Oliveira versus Chandler. I've been going very back and forth on this. Even as a Charles fan, bro, I low-key see him losing this fight. Don't know if I should pick fucking Chandler, bro. Because the thing is, look. In my eyes, this is a 50-50 fight. But the odds makers got it, minus 250. Very confident in Oliveira. But I've seen that this isn't the same Oliveira. I've already made a whole video on this. But I've seen this isn't the same hungry Oliveira. And when you look at Michael Chandler, This guy has a whole path laid out for himself. He already knows what he wants to do. He believes in himself, and he believes that he genuinely had a lot of success in that first fight, which he did. He had a lot of success there. It almost got stopped. We need to remember, it almost got stopped. And Michael Chandler could at any moment have a big explosive knockdown. Something like that. That could happen. And depending on who's in there, if we get a Mark Goddard in there, I could see this shit getting stopped, okay? So I'm not going to lie to you. I am going to pick Oliveira, but I could easily see Chandler winning this fight. And I'm going to be fucking, I'm going to be distraught. If he knocks out Oliveira cold, I'm actually going to fucking cry. But listen, I could see Chandler getting a bit of a TKO stoppage. So, obviously, guys, if I said that here, so, if that ends up happening, you're going to give me credit, but I'm picking Oliveira, okay? I'm picking Oliveira. I do see, for some reason, I've seen Oliveira getting an anaconda choke, okay? I see an anaconda choke in my dreams, maybe he drops Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler does get dropped a bit. He does get, he gets shinned a bit in his fights. There are moments where he's up against that fence, and I could just see, Charles gets so good. Instead of going for the TKO like he did last time, he gets a choke in there somehow, and he spins around and, gets an anaconda choke, and then, Michael Chandler taps. But for some reason, I do want to pick Chandler as well, so I'm not sure, bro. I might end up picking... Fuck, bro. Like, I don't know. I want to pick Chandler. Like, I don't want to pick Chandler. Like, I don't want him to win. I just feel like he's going to win. I don't know. I feel like we're living in that reality. This is gonna... Alright, it's fine. I'm gonna pick... Do I want to pick Chandler? Bro, I'm going to pick Chandler, okay? I'm going to pick Chandler. I don't know why I see him winning, bro. I need to pick who I think is going to win, okay? I can't do this bullshit of, I think, Oliveira's going to win. I don't think Oliveira's going to win. I think he could win. I think he could win. He could, we'll just say Chandler's going to win. TKO. Dude, I had such a better explanation for this earlier. I recorded this, my predictions earlier, but I changed a lot of these predictions, that's why, so... I guess I'm going Chandler, bro. I'm going Chandler. Let's just pretend I went Oliveira in the future, if anyone's watching this. Let's pretend I went Oliveira if Oliveira ends up winning. Because I'm a huge-ass Oliveira fan, and I want him to win. It's just I'm looking at it objectively, bro. Like, I'm an objective picker, man. I don't go into my feelings when I pick this shit. I'm picking Chandler. Dude, I hate to say it. I see a round 1 TKO, or I see an Oliveira. I'll say this. I see an Oliveira late finish anaconda choke in the 3rd round, or I see a Michael Chandler early TKO, sort of an early stoppage even. Yeah, we'll see, bro. I just see it going that way. I can't. I don't see Chandler. It would be ultimate humiliation for Chandler if he fucking ends up losing this after 2 years of waiting, but... now we get to speed through these predictions, man. I'm already fucking... I don't want to make these videos too long. But listen, I'm not going with some freaky-ass Paul Craig finish. I know he could. Listen, if Paul Craig submits you, that's arguably a good thing, right? Like, if you wanted Bo Nickal to be a future champ, or, yeah, just a future champ, you would want Paul Craig to submit him. But I don't think we're living in that sort of reality, right? Because if Bo Nickal gets submitted by Paul Craig, that's a good thing. Because, we got Jamal Hill, Nikita Krylov. Did he get submitted by... I think Nikita Krylov got subbed by Paul Craig. Maybe not, but I know Paul Craig beat him. But, Magomed, we got the last second tap from Magomed. And, it's a good sign. It's a good sign to be beat by Paul Craig. It's a sign that you're going to do good things. But I think Bo Nickal is the type of guy that, I see him chinning Paul Craig. I see him chinning Paul Craig very early. And then I see, the commentary team freaking out and going, oh my God. He's amazing. He's amazing. But Bo Nickal cannot be denied at this point. He is, somebody give this guy a title eliminator bout. I see that happening. And, yeah, I'm just going to pick what I see. Besides fucking, he's like a minus. This is such a dude, I'm such a good picker, bro. I'm just picking the minus 1200. Like, that's, a lot of these fights are fucking terrible. Heads. Okay, we're going with Vivian Araujo. Because, I did do a very big breakdown on this. I just kept the video private because I felt a little embarrassed. I went, an hour into this, kind of, and I just did some tape study. I did a long kind of, analysis of the boxing of Vivian Araujo compared to that, that grappling that Silva is famous for. And, I found out, I found that Viviane Araujo, there are some openings for her to exploit in Korean Silva's game. So, I'm going to go for Viviane Araujo by a split decision as per usual in WMMA. We're going with Ruffy, but James Llontop, there is something to be said about James Llontop because he ain't that bad, right? I think he fought. Did he fight Vyacheslav Borshev last? He fought the Chase Hooper victim, right? The guy who Chase Hooper pretty much put a dominant masterclass on and then TKO'd him. Did he TKO him? It's been a while since I've seen these fights, guys. I don't remember. I don't rewatch fights. That's one thing that should be said. Unless there were an Ilia Topuria fight. Ilia Topuria fights, I rewatch those fights in my sleep. I rewatch those fights about 20 times. And that's why I'm such a good, Topuria predictor and shit. I know everything that Topuria is going to do. But listen, James Llontop, I believe he fought Vyacheslav Borshev last, and maybe I'm just pulling this out my ass, but guys, I'm going based on memory, and I think it was like it might have been a split decision, but I know it was a controversial decision, maybe, and maybe, of course, maybe, but yeah, so he looked decent, but at the end of the day, we're not going to be going into that. We're going to be looking at Mauricio Ruffy, and Mauricio Ruffy's a beast. This guy's basically McGregor. Everyone's saying it. And, basically McGregor, you're not going to pick against basically McGregor. You're going to pick against James Llontop. And so James Llontop, sorry, bro. It's just over for you, bro. But, Mauricio Ruffy, I'm going to predict the round, first round of fucking, TKO and then the left hand, and then he got bounced on the fucking canvas, and then that's over for him. Yeah, so I'm picking Jonathan Martinez to beat Marcus McGhee. I think, Marcus McGhee, he's a decent guy, but, Jonathan Martinez, we're forgetting, right? He lost to Jose Aldo. I actually picked him to beat Jose Aldo, but he did lose against him, and it wasn't the best performance, right? But, that's Jose Aldo. You got an excuse. Who beats Jose Aldo? Nobody, right? Unless you're like a beast. But, I think Marcus McGhee, he's got those legs that they just look like they're asking to get chopped off, okay? And Jonathan Martinez, this guy's the dark horse. He was the dark horse, and then he went up against Jose Aldo, but, there's no shame in losing to Jose Aldo, right? Jonathan Martinez, he's a beast. He's got the heavy leg kicks. He'll probably leg kick TKO Marcus McGhee, and, that's all she wrote. Chris Weidman, we're going to pick him by fucking eye pokes. He's going to eye poke Eric Anders, and then, finish him. He's an underdog as well. Yeah, Eric Anders, he's a decent fighter, but Chris Weidman, Chris Weidman's a different beast. His title run's about to start now. Damon Jackson, Jim Miller. I'm picking Damon Jackson because he is a Topuria victim, and Topuria victims always do well. Whenever Topuria gets a win, and this is why Topuria is going to be the GOAT, because his opponent's records are insanely good. Insanely good. Like Bryce Mitchell, at the time he was undefeated. Now he has, 2 losses, but 13 wins maybe. Bryce Mitchell has 3 losses. Even the Kins that he's fought have good records. Ryan Hall, I think his only loss was Topuria, I'm pretty sure. And so these guys have a great record collectively, which is why Topuria's, his opponents have a better win-loss record than Jones's opponents, than GSP's opponents, than Mighty Mouse's opponents, and all these guys you'd consider in the GOAT status, which is why we're going to see Topuria retire as the GOAT. But listen, in order for that to happen, we need Damon Jackson to pull these little wins through. We need him to get these Jim Miller type of wins, and he's going to, okay? Damon Jackson ain't no slouch, okay? He might look like it, but Damon Jackson's the type of guy to beat a Jim Miller, okay? I picked Bobby Green to beat Jim Miller. I know a lot of people were like, nah, Jim Miller's too crafty, bro. But listen, Jim Miller, sure, he could be as crafty as he wants, but a guy like Bobby Green's beating him, a guy like Damon Jackson's going to beat him, and Damon Jackson and Bobby Green are basically just the same fighter, obviously, very similar. But, in all seriousness, Damon Jackson, we'll just pick him by decision, and we'll hope that it's like a robbery decision or something, and, Damon Jackson... this is all for Topuria, basically. We just need Topuria's record to age well. David Onama versus Roberto Romero. Now, I know a lot of guys are picking David Onama, but a little thing you guys don't know is that Roberto Romero is actually Yoel Romero's little brother. A lot of people didn't know this. Yeah, Yoel Romero has a little brother. And, I know a lot of casuals maybe watch this channel, but the hardcores know that Roberto Romero, this guy's better than Yoel Romero, right? You remember the clips back in the day of Yoel going, hey, Roberto, he's better than me. Listen, Roberto Romero, let me tell you, this guy, he's gonna come to the UFC and he's gonna be champ. So we gotta go by Yoel Romero's word, and we gotta trust that Roberto Romero is just a different beast. I mean, I don't care if David Onama is a minus 1,200 favorite or something. I don't care. Roberto Romero, he's gonna fucking go out there and he's gonna fucking chin David Onam, okay? So yeah, I mean, easy picks all day. Jonathan Denise versus Marcin Tybura. I know a lot of people are picking Marcin Tybura. You know, you got the Lucas Tracy's. I think Bedtime picked him. But, guys, Jonathan Denise is a beast, okay? We're not acting like Jonathan Denise, you know, I'm just gonna get taken down by Marcin Tybura and held there. No, bro, he's gonna KO Marcin Tybura, okay? I'm sorry. This ain't a Tai Tuivasa versus Marcin Tybura. I picked Tybura to beat Spivak, and he let me down. And people are acting like he didn't just fight Spivak. People are acting like Lucas Tracy in his video was acting like Marcin Tybura was on a big fucking win streak just coming off of his Tai Tuivasa win, when in reality, he just lost to Spivak. Okay, and there's something to be said about that. You know, if you're losing to Spivak and you're selling my fucking picks, I'm going to pick against you. I'm not picking you, Marcin. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. You know, I love Poland. But Jonathan Denise, you know, Jonathan Denise, I haven't picked against this guy either. I haven't picked against him yet. And he's undefeated, so I'm not going to pick against him. He arguably, this guy could be Tom Aspinall's, you know, he could be the fucking destroyer of Tom Aspinall. You never know, man. Jonathan Denise, probably a future beast. All right, let's go. Let's just rush through this. Mickey Gall, I'm picking Mickey Gall because, you know, Mickey Gall's absolute veteran, absolute beast. You know, and if it's, basically you're just going to pick the guy with the better physique. And Mickey Gall has a better physique than, you know, Ramiz Brahimaj. So we're just going to pick Mickey Gall. Ramiz Brahimaj is one of those guys, you've heard their name about 1,000 times throughout these pick videos. Like, if you're watching MMA Guru's picks and shit, you've heard the name Ramiz Brahimaj thrown around about 1,000,000 times. But, you know, Bedtime MMA said this in his video. He had a point. We've never seen this guy really fight. We've never seen him fight. We've heard the name about 1,000,000 times, but we have never seen. I don't know what this guy fights like. Is he a grappler? Is he a striker? What does he do? I don't know. I've just heard his name be tossed around there 1,000,000 times. So, you know, he might be a good fighter. I don't know. I don't really care. Basil Hafez. I'm actually going to pick Basil Hafez because, you know, this guy took JDM to, like, a competitive decision, guys. I mean, guys. I mean, Basil Hafez. Obviously, this guy's just a beast. He also predicted Ilia Topuria to beat Max Holloway by split decision. So there's something going on in his head to predict the split decision. But, you know, I'm actually gonna pick him by split decision to beat Oban Elliott. And then we'll end it with, you know, Veronica Hardy, Eduardo Mora. Let's flip a coin just to make sure we're obeying the rules. Okay, we're going with Veronica Hardy by split decision because she's, you know, obviously Dan Hardy and shit. And, you know, obviously she's just a better fighter. And, you know, obviously she's got more to fight for. And, you know, obviously that's a great video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Big!